Welcome to this next episode of Keith Morris at the Movies. I will not only provide my take on movies and be calling myself a movie critic, but I also reserve the right to review music as well as all other art forms. It's just something that we do here at adding a little twist. So I'm going to switch it up today. I want to talk about Beyonce. Beyonce goes country. So, Beyonce, also known as Queen Bee or Bay, is tackling country music. And the pushback from some folks in the country music community is astounding, it's staggering, it's disturbing. So, Beyonce has released two songs, one called Texas Holdem, the other one called 16 Carriages, as part of a new album she's project that she has called The Act Two, that's going to be released soon. Already, those two songs are one and two on the Apple iTunes country music chart. And Beyonce is now the first African American or Black woman to chart a number one country song on Billboard. That's something. So congratulations to her and her team. Now, there's a debate. Some people are saying oh, it's not country, it's Beyonce. And it seems like no matter what it sounds like or whatever, it's like what criteria are they using to determine what's country music? Um, some radio stations in Oklahoma, in particular, are not playing her music. They're not going to play her songs, and so. And there's one guy in particular. His name is John Schneider. You might know him from um, as Luke. Look at that girl with them Daisy Dukes on. No, that's Uncle Luke, not Uncle Luke from the Two Live Crew, but Luke from the Dukes of Hazzard. Remember that show? Um, it had Luke and it had JD Boss Hogg, and remember Daisy Duke and the General Lee, which was the Confederate car, the car with the Confederate flag on the hood. So so that's where he comes from. And so when you think about that, he made a to me a very disturbing reference. I'm talking about John Schneider, aka Luke. He said that Beyonce singing country music is akin to a dog peeing to mark its spot, mark its territory. And so he's comparing the queen to a dog and probably a female dog. We kind of get an idea of what he was calling her. You look at the Dukes of Hazzard. That wasn't the most black friendly show. When you got J.D. Hall, the J.D. stands for Jefferson Davis, who was the father of the Confederacy. You have a car that we all loved as kids, the muscle car, but it's called General Lee after General Robert E. Lee, a traitor, Confederate general, and and a car with the Confederate flag on the hood, and so you kind of get a gist of what that show was really saying. And they said they had a song, the theme song, just some good old boys, never meant no harm. Yeah, they never meant no harm to anybody that didn't look like that looked like them. But if they didn't value you, well, we know how that goes. So let's get back to John Schneider. I thought that was a particularly cruel and insensitive remark that he made. Um, I also found out that John is trying to launch a country music career, and this doesn't help him. His acting career has faltered, and like some people, he resorted to name calling and that kind of thing. And I think some people just never grow old. When I travel, sometimes I stay in a Hampton, just off the campus of Hampton University. There's a hotel I like to go to. On the walls, I have it posted. I have a picture of what they have. Some people take that to heart, and he's one of them. And it's really a shame. Um, People like him, and I think I know where he's coming from. But it's kind of interesting to me that he's playing gatekeeper for country music, but John Schneider is is a native New Yorker. He was born in New York. Beyonce is a Texan. She was born in Texas. I was born in Elk City, Oklahoma, Clinton Sherman Air Force Base. My father was in the Air Force, and I'm at what they call an Air Force brat. So I think I should have just as more clout than him in determining, and definitely Beyonce being born and reared in Texas. So that that's just kind of interesting how he just jumps to the front of the line and uses that sort of privilege to be able to say, "You're not country. I'm more country than you." That's crazy. So you know, I think if you look at the history and the roots of country music, to say, there have been, it's interesting that some people have gone into this thing of calling it cultural appropriation for Beyonce to sing country music. Those are people that don't know the roots of and the origins of country music, and they don't know the origins of American music. All American music is based on the black gospel, blues, or the jazz, or jazz. So that's it's kind of funny that somebody could borrow or take something, make it their own, and then vilify somebody, the originators, a person from that class, from that group, and say that you're stealing from us. It's just what we call rich. Um, so people who are saying that Beyonce is not country, not singing, her songs aren't country music. They don't know the origins of country music. They don't know about what I just talked about. All American music came from. And my take on it is, does it really matter? I mean, the Beastie Boys were rappers or hip hop, I love the Beastie Boys. It wasn't a matter to me. I just said, oh, I like that, you know, um, and so Eminem, who can really negate his chops and not give him his props? I mean, he's one of the greatest out there ever. And so I don't have a problem with Eminem. Or, I mean, you had Vanilla Ice of all people, Remember Vanilla Ice Cream, Ice Baby? But on second thought, maybe I do have a problem with him. I know the guys from that black and gold fraternity, A5A, they might have a problem with that. But, I let them handle that. And to me, that's cultural appropriation for real. So I'll put a little asterisk next to Vanilla Ice. There have already been a host of black country music stars. I think of Charlie Pride. When you think of country music, that's one of the first things you think about is Charlie Pride. There was Aaron Neville. Ray Charles charted, and one of his most successful albums was a country album. Lionel Richie, Tina Turner, that song Private Dancer is considered country, and I love that song. So she dabbled in the country music. And just lately, Tracy Chapman, Luke Combs took one of her songs, and she's more of like a folk singer, and turned Fast Car into a country song, and it was number one, I think, country song of the year. So, I don't know really where John Schneider's coming. I kind of do, but, we'll just let it stay there. Taking something that wasn't yours in the first place to begin with, and then repackaging it and repurposing it and making it your own, and then taking full ownership of it. It's kind of the American way, right? I mean, taking credit for something that somebody else created and stealing it and then saying it's mine, you can't have it, you can't use it. I mean, country music is big enough. We all can enjoy it. We all can contribute, be creators, listen to it. Just stop the madness. It's crazy. Beyonce's country. She's going country, and she's soon to be the new queen of country music. There's enough room for everybody to participate, create, join, listen. And so I have a video coming up that's going to pay homage to the new queen of country, Beyonce. And as well as some more information that I talked about other black country singers and the origins of country music and the contributions of black music and how that helped create country music. So I say now, peace. I'm out.